Do you live intentionally or do you let life sort of happen to you and you just go with the flow? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today on Midlife Unleashed with Julie Waas. Thanks for watching. And I was actually traveling with my son, my adult autistic son, yesterday. I was bringing him home for a visit, and we were on the plane, and I started to think about whether I live my life intentionally or I just go with the flow. And I have to say, I do live my life intentionally, and I've been living my life intentionally for years now. But certainly midlife and beyond, I've adopted intentionality as my daily thing. And here's what I'm talking about. So some people just sort of live from day to day, and that's okay. I'm not making this a criticism. I'm just making a suggestion. Um, some people live from day to day and they just let life happen to them and they get up in the morning and check their schedule and life goes on. They have their meetings and they come home and every day is sort of the same. And they don't really give it a lot of thought about life. And I used to be this way. So I know I'm not talking from the fact that I didn't have experience. Trust me, I did. It was just sort of like my life was a whirlwind. And I think that is especially true when you're raising your kids and you don't really have time to think about yourself. You don't really have time to think about being intentional. You just have time to think about getting to the next day or finishing the next project at work or getting the next promotion, things like that, which may have a degree of intentionality about it, but that's really not what I'm talking about. What I'm really talking about is living intentionally in terms of, having a routine, having habits in place that support you as you age, as you go through midlife and beyond. And when I say habits that support you spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And they can be life changing. And I think especially when you get to the point of midlife where you maybe have a lot of time on your hands because your kids now have left the nest and you're not sure what you're going to do next. And, you're maybe at a point in your career where you've reached a plateau and you're not really sure you want to climb any more up the ladder or want to move into another job. And so it's time to start thinking about every day and sort of creating habits around your day so that you live intentionally. For instance, having a morning habit. My morning habit is I sit down and I think about what I'm grateful for, and I have my affirmations, and I fill out my Unstoppable Mornings journal every morning, and I sit in the quiet of the morning. And one of the habits I have is going to sleep and getting up basically at the same time every day. And, I go to bed I'm in bed, lights out by 10 o'clock. And my alarm generally goes off at 5:30 in the morning every day, including on the weekends. I used to sleep in, or I used to just let it go. Whenever I got up, I got up. And I find that the habit of going to bed and getting up at the same time every day, I'm much less tired. I am energized. And then I get up in the quiet of the morning and sit in my favorite yellow chair and with my journal, and it's peaceful and it's quiet in the house. And that's a big habit for me. And it really starts off my day off with intentionality and gets it focused on good things and thinking about good things and thinking about what I'm going to do that day, but not a bunch of things. I think of three things I have to get done on a given day. And then every day I exercise after that. Now, for me, morning exercise is my lifestyle. And I highly recommend it because once you're done, and you don't have to be thinking about the end of the day, oh, I really don't feel like exercising now. I'm really tired. I mean, it is a great way to start the day, but again, I live intentionally. I do it even when I don't feel like it. And here's why, because I always know that when I'm done, I will feel better and I will feel stronger and I will feel more energized. And I also know that at my age, strength training and resistance training is very important. as is cardiovascular training. It's good for your brain, it's good for your body, it's good for your bones. If you're a midlife woman or beyond, it's time to start thinking about all of those things. And again, living intentionally. I live intentionally. I think about what I'm going to do every day, how I'm going to structure my days. I keep a calendar and I block time. And I'm not suggesting everybody do all these things at once. It took me a while to develop all of these different habits. And, one at a time, little by little, you create the habits, you create the intention around your days so that suddenly you feel like you have control over your life. You have, you know what's coming. You're not living on the fly. You're not living by what happens to you. You're living by what you create. And so life shouldn't just be about what happens to you. Life should be about what happens when you create your life. So if you have questions about that, please put them in the comments, or you can, contact me. There's a link in my bio about, getting on a call with me. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I'm a big fan of creating these habits, but start small. Don't create a giant habit at once. Like, for instance, don't make a New Year's resolution that you're going to go to the gym tomorrow and you're going to suddenly be fit in 2 weeks. That will not happen. In fact, you'll probably stop going because you'll be in pain because you tried too hard at the beginning. So no, it's one small step at a time, baby steps. I love the image of babies, how they develop very slowly, and each new thing they build upon each other. And don't forget to celebrate your wins. Don't forget to celebrate yourself and, think about, wow, I'm living intentionally. I've got a great habit. I've got a great routine, and it really is helping my life. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you. What are the habits that you engage in on a daily basis? How do you live intentionally? Or do you want to live intentionally and you don't even know how? And I'm happy to help you. So you can always send me a private message and we can get together and talk about it. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you. And if you know anyone that might benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. And also, please subscribe to Midlife Unleashed with Julie Waas so that you can hear more from me. Anyway, I hope that you have an intentionally lived day and a wonderful day. And thanks for watching.